some reason, I have 60 songs on my mind today. That was really early. That was 1960. And instrumentals. I've been playing a lot. Well, I've been listening to a lot of old stuff lately. It's been fun. That was, of course, Walk Don't Run, originally done by Johnny Smith. So it was written in the 50s. And then, of course, the Ventures turned it into a surf tune. I know what it was. This is why I had a new student this week that started, really just had a couple lessons, teenager. And we started talking about surf songs for some reason. And his eyes just lit up. Because one of the first things I teach people, it's Friday, July 14th. Welcome to the news. Second lesson, I decided it was time to start working. The first lesson I had him playing just some chromatic scales. And this, I guess, is going to turn into the tip of the week. It was just a really good exercise, but a few weeks ago I talked about my favorite chromatic exercise, the one where you shift back everything, there. But he came back to his second lesson and was like, really playing that really well. I said, it's time to do something else. Let's learn a surf song. So this is what I had him do, was working on alternating picking and playing through the progression to Wipeout, and his eyes sort of lit up, so I just kind of decided, I played a few more surf songs for him. Let's see. I think I might, this is a bad idea. I don't have this in good shape. I don't think. I'm not going to play it. I don't think. Well, I did a lesson on that, and I came up with a much better fingering for that part that I forgot about. It was many years ago now. Anyway, so I got 60 songs on the brain and surf tunes, which is also part of what I spent this week doing, was putting together some new packs, including a couple of more decade packs. We got 60s Volume 2, 70s Volume 2, and 70s Volume 3, and then basically some 80s tunes called the British Reinvasion, some like the second wave of acts from over there. So anyway, and a few more packs on the way that might even be up by the time you see this. So I'm working on a Poco one and Loggins and Messina, and a beginning fingerpicking one. So that because I really that was part of the reason I even did the lesson a few weeks ago on Grandfather's Clock. So. What I am going to talk about, though, a little bit today is a question that came up on the forum about songs from The Sound of Music. And I'm not sure where I'm going to go exactly with that yet, but it's going to include, one more thing first, then I'll get to that. I want to thank everybody who has responded. We sent out a survey, and we got hundreds of responses, I think. I'm still working on getting those reports and checking on that. So I really want to thank everybody. I don't know if there was a lot of good things or bad things in there yet, but I still want to thank everybody who took the time to check it out and let us know what we can be doing better, what we should be not doing, what we should be... Anyway, so I will be getting that info later this afternoon, so I'm probably speaking too soon on it. But what I wanted to talk about was these tunes in The Sound of Music, but this is really going to apply to everything as far as figuring out the chords to a song and then maybe putting together an instrumental version. And the first key is be able to play the melody, know what the notes are. Let me think about this. This is a bad idea. Okay, so the song that popped into my head from there, I can hear this now. Something like that, right? Okay, let's see about. So anyway, I can hear, if I'm going to start on that melody note E, I'm not even sure what key it's in yet or what the first chords are going to be, but what I have to do is figure out, I just heard it right there because I happened to play a C chord there and could hear that melody note is part of that. This song starts on the third of the chord. So but I could look at other chords that had an E in it. It might be E. That doesn't make any sense because the melody goes E, F sharp, G. So even the F sharp seems a little bit weird when I start on a C chord, because if the next melody note is F sharp, it's got to be a D chord, which kind of leads us to think that we're going to hear C and D, which I now think, okay, maybe I'm looking at chords in the key of G, because that would be chords 4 and 5. So then I think the next chord is probably going to be G. It does something interesting though. It hangs on the F sharp and then resolves to the G. That's brilliant. I should be surprised. Melody comes down to D now. It's got to be a minor chord though. Okay. But I could hear right there, this is getting kind of out there, I guess. I could hear that G chord, we have from G major 7, and can just hear the modal change. This chord just has to become minor. And when we go to a minor chord where we expect, especially when we change from just a major chord, now I think this is going to end up being, whatever's going to happen, this is either chord 2, 3, or 6 in whatever key it's hinting at. But I can hear that this has got to go to 5. This is feeling like a 2 to 5, which I'll take it to C, 7 maybe, which means it's got to go to F. The melody's an E though, so it's got to be an F major 7. Okay, so this one's getting more complicated than I was hoping. Let me see if I can take it a little further though. Oh, let's do the same change. It's got to be a minor chord. This has to be 2 to 5 in this key. D minor 7, G. Oh, let's see what we got now. Oh man, then the melody has to happen in a different key. Wow. Okay, I might have to work on that. It's getting a little beyond where I wanted to go right now. But let's take another one. Here's a melody you probably know really well. I think this is going to work out different though, because I'm going to start it really low. For Do, Re, Mi, I'm going to do it in C. I'm not sure if this is the best key, but I can hear that there's the melody. C, D, E. That just has to be a C chord because it's all C's and E's. Now the melody for Re starts on Re, which is D. And so I'm going to be thinking it's got to be a chord that has the D in it, that's in the key of G. And my first guess is going to be, key of C. First guess is going to be, let's see what we can do with 1, 4, and 5. So the chord in every key, the chord that has note 2 in it is chord 5 of 1, 4, and 5. So I'm going to play a G7 there, but hit that D in the bass. Mi is E. That means I'm probably going back to C chord. That should have been an F chord. Maybe. The notes in chord 1 in every key are 1, 3, and 5. Do, Mi, and So. So, as it turns out in this song, every time it's one of those three, it's a C chord. it's going to land on A. That's in chord 4. Then it's going to start on that, but we can't stay there. We need a secondary dominant chord here. It's got to be a D7. To a G, I think. Now I need another dominant chord that has a B in it. Those all make great instrumentals. Okay. The other one that, of course, comes up is Edelweiss, and I'm not going to play any of that right now because I know people are working on that. And but I think I will probably do a lesson on that. The hint is, I did a little. I even did a search for chords. Every once in a while, I do something like that to see what people have put out there, and everybody has it in the wrong key. It is in the key of A, and you can hear in the movie. You hear at the very beginning, you hear him noodle around with kind of an A chord. You hear this, and then you hear a low E in the bass, and that's kind of where the whole thing starts. Okay, but that is enough teasing about that. Let me see. Let me play something else. What else was running through my head lately? Oh. It's fun to just mess around with 12-bar blues. So there you have a little take on Hey Hey, which somebody else was working on this week. Fun song to revisit. Let's see. I think that is all I meant to talk about today. Catch you next week. Oh, maybe. I might be gone next week. We'll see. I'll keep you posted.